You are about to witness the most brutal and horrific tale of dominance and destruction ever recorded. In the heart of Africa's wildest landscapes, a coalition of 6 male lions rose to absolute power. Leading them was a beast unlike any other, a lion known as Mr. T, the most terrifying lion ever. His aggression and merciless nature made him the most feared of them all. He ruled with such brutality that he earned a darker name, Satan. Their story exposes the dark side of lions, where power is taken by force, and the weak are mercilessly eliminated. In just a year, they slaughtered over 100 lions, crushing rival prides and seizing control of everything in their path. This is the story of the most feared lion coalition in history, a brotherhood that ruled over the biggest territory ever recorded, the Mapogo. The story begins in the early 2000s, deep in the Sabi sands of South Africa, where a powerful group of lions ruled a pride known as Sparta. During this time, 10 lion cubs were born into the pride, 5 males and 5 females. But the 5 male cubs were special. They are Scar, Pretty Boy, Rasta, Kinky Tail, and Mr. T. They were brothers who would later form a legendary coalition, the Mapogo. For lion cubs, survival is a battle. Half of them don't live past their first year, falling to predators, starvation, or even rival males. But these 5 endured, growing into fearless warriors. Among them, Kinky Tail and Mr. T formed an unbreakable bond, always together since they were cubs. They weren't just brothers. They were destined to change the African wilderness forever. As time passed, their difficult childhood faded, and they grew into strong young adults. Even as young lions, they hunted animals most wouldn't dare to challenge, like the ferocious honey badger, known for its fearless nature. From an early age, Mr. T had already shown signs of leadership. It was clear the Mapogo were not just another group of young males. A few more months passed. They reached an age where they could no longer stay in the Sparta pride. Forced to leave, they separated and began life as a new coalition. Without the protection of their mothers, survival was up to them. As the young coalition ventured into the wild, survival became their greatest challenge. To avoid starvation, they needed to hunt large and dangerous prey. At first, they used a cunning strategy, scaring off lionesses from other prides to steal their kills. But when dominant males arrived, they were forced to retreat, leaving their stolen food behind. One day in 2003, a strange young male lion wandered into the territory of the 5 young Mapogo brothers. Usually, entering another lion's territory meant certain death, but this lion was different. Instead of attacking him, the Mapogo accepted him into their ranks. His name was Makulu, the largest of them all. No one knows for sure why he was welcomed, but some believe he shared the same bloodline. From the beginning, Mr. T sought to lead, but one lion stood in his way, Makulu. As the oldest and largest, Mapogo naturally took charge. His thick, dark mane symbolized strength. And despite Mr. T's ambition, he was no match for Mapogo's power. Mr. T had to wait his turn. Their most powerful era began with the arrival of Mapogo. Under his leadership, they no longer had to rely on scavenging. Instead, they began hunting massive prey such as buffalo, hippos, rhinos, and like their fathers, even giraffes. It's normal for a lion coalition to have 3 or 4 males. Even 5 is rare. But the Mapogo were 6. This is what made their story so special. They were stronger and more aggressive than any other lion coalitions. In 2006, the Mapogo lions pushed beyond their hunting grounds, invading the northern Sabi Sands and encroaching on rival territories. With an army of 6, they crushed every pride in their path, leaving no resistance standing. No male could challenge them. Every rival was slaughtered. But their cruelty did not stop there. The female lions had no choice but to submit. Those who refused, who resisted their dominance, met a gruesome fate. They were killed and eaten. Worst of all were the cubs. Some were simply killed, while others were killed and eaten. No act was too brutal for Mr. T. He was the most ruthless of them all, slaughtering both lionesses and cubs without mercy, even devouring some of them. It may seem barbaric. Why kill innocent cubs? You might wonder why nature allows such brutality, but soon you will understand the real reason behind this ruthless act. Over time, their power reshaped the Sabi Sands. What was once more than 5 separate lion territories became one massive empire under their control, the largest lion territory ever recorded in history. Now, they didn't just rule over prides, they controlled entire lands, with more than 8 prides under their dominance. Their kingdom wasn't always this vast and united. Over time, things began to change. As Mr. T grew into a strong and fearless lion, his hunger for power also grew. But there was one problem. Mapogo was still the leader. He was bigger and older. Mr. T wanted to take over, but Mapogo wouldn't back down. This rivalry slowly tore the coalition apart. By 2008, the Mapogo had split into 2 groups. Mr. T and Kinky Tail, inseparable as always, moved to the north-central region. Mapogo and the other 3 stayed in the western region. This was the worst decision they ever made. Their strength was in their numbers, and now, for the first time, they were vulnerable. But no matter what Mr. T chose, Kinky Tail would always stand by his side. They were inseparable brothers. For a few years, things went smoothly. Mr. T and Kinky Tail ruled their territories side by side. They bred to continue their bloodline and secure their legacy in their territory. Meanwhile, Makalu and the other 3 Mapogo with him also sired cubs. Among them, Makalu was the most patient father of all. To show their dominance, both groups roared across the land and marked their boundaries. Warning any intruders that they were the kings here. But Mr. T's territory was much harder to defend. Unlike Makalu's, his land bordered the Kruger National Park, a vast wilderness full of unknown dangers. And soon, that danger would come for them.